Everywhere bust in the early hours of today. Tinubu is in trouble. What has never happened since the beginning of Tinubu's tenure has beginning to happen today. This has actually raised an eyebrow across the country. What has never happened in the history of this country is already happening. The country is collapsing while the president is enjoying taking tours and resting outside the country. Tinubu impeachment process has kickstart my people. Ever since Tinubu has emerged as the president of the country, the economy has been collapsing. Shehu Okinbaloye, Dele Farotimi, and even Atiku Abubakar that does not really talk about anything that has to do with the sitting president are actually shooting heavy load of insults as the impeachment process is ongoing. And people, share this video to every social media platform. If you cannot share, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. We'll be back in a jiffy.
The
whole of crime scene
is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome you to Lajipok TV show, where we bring you political gist, celebrity, and religious gossip. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do where to click the red subscription button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trending gist. Shehu Okinbaloye went to extra miles to give a big blow to President Bola Ahmed TINUBU on live TV today. Nigerians were shocked and at the same time we are happy about the bold step. This video is actually very different from my previous ones, as I'm going to be showing you the videos in different formats as the video progresses. Shehu Okinbaloye gave a resounding warning to President Bola Ahmed TINUBU, calling his attention to the present situation of the country. Shehu Okinbaloye is one of the bravest journalists we have in the country that is so fearless and ferocious when giving a resounding warning to our leaders, especially the ones that are not doing the right job they were elected for. Stay close as I will be playing the video and hear what he has to say in this video.
Here is my final word tonight. Mr. President, Senator Bola Tinubu, it is to you tonight that I bring the burden and plight of our people too. I trust this message finds you in good health and high spirits as you continue to navigate the intricate responsibilities that come with the esteemed position you hold. It is with a heavy heart and deep concern that I pass this message on the current state of our beloved nation, Nigeria. In a time when the heartbeat of our nation is racing with fear and the very fabric of our society is tearing at the seams, we stand at a crossroads. President Tinubu, the nation calls for your undivided attention as you embark on a private visit to France. Our beloved Nigeria is grappling with unprecedented challenges that demand urgent and decisive action. Kidnapping and abductions are the order of the day. From Lagos to Kaduna, Taraba, and violent and criminal activities have pervaded our land. Even in the heart of our nation's capital, the audacity of kidnappers has become a sinister reality, striking fear into the hearts of our people. Our citizens are living in constant fear, unsure of their safety and the safety of their loved ones. This is not the Nigeria we dreamed of, not the renewed hope that was promised. We applaud the gallantry of our security operatives, but indeed more work still needs to be done to keep the people safe. Efforts are being made, but it appears they are not far enough. What has become the strategies of state policing and community policing that has been talked about several years, and the huge white papers and advisory notes on how to tackle insecurity in Nigeria, where are they? President Tinubu, as a pro-democracy agitator, isn't it the right time to restructure Nigeria for it to work properly? Is the Nigeria you and your friends fought for, is it the Nigeria that you're talking about? The removal of subsidies has unleashed a tidal wave of economic downturn, leaving families struggling to make ends meet. Prices of commodities have gone through the roof. The biting effects are felt across the nation, and the loss of confidence in the government is palpable. This is not a time for complacency. It is a time for bold, unwavering leadership. Mr. President, I think it is about time to get the nation's eggheads in one room and find a lasting cure to our ailing economy. As you stand on foreign soil, Mr. President, remember the weight of your responsibility to the Nigerian people. Our citizens, including those who voted for you, are losing faith in the government. The implications of the loss of confidence are far-reaching. And as a leader, you cannot afford to look away. Investors are fleeing the nation like never before. The economic potential of Nigeria is being squandered, and the consequences will be felt for generations. We urge you, Mr. President, to take immediate measures to create an environment that attracts and retains investment. The clock is ticking, and our economic future is at stake. Mr. President, the time to act is now. Swift and decisive measures are needed to curb the escalating insecurity, alleviate the economic burden on citizens, and restore the confidence in the government. This is not only a call to fulfill campaign promises, but a plea for the preservation of our great nation. Mr. President, our regional leadership is hanging in the balance. Some members of ECOWAS are signaling exit, and Nigeria's influence is under threat. It is time to reassert your leadership, strengthen diplomatic ties, and secure our place in the Committee of Nations. As journalists, we will not shy away from probing, inspiring, and holding leaders accountable. President Tinubu, live up to the expectations of your calling and the mandate upon which your office stands. The Nigerian people deserve more. They deserve a leader who acts with urgency, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the well-being of our great nation. The challenges may be daunting, but if you are resolute and carry the people along, we can all together overcome. The giant of Africa must now rise and take his rightful place in the Committee of Nations and harness its potentials for the Nigerian people to smile again. God bless this Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this is my final word tonight.
From the video, you could see the rage with which Shehu Okinbaloye was giving President Bola Ahmed TINUBU a resounding warning, calling his attention to the state of the country. Even the so-called terrorists do not have fear for any security agencies because they know how weak our security system in the country is. Can you imagine the level of audacity they are even operating in the federal capital? And I believe so much that this abduction, this kidnapping has a lot to do with our politicians. As of today, students and teachers of a particular school in Ekiti State were abducted again. Another case of kidnapping. What is now the way forward for the country? The safety of our citizens is not guaranteed anymore. Also in this video, I will be showing you the tweet of Atiku Abubakar about the present situation of the country. For Atiku to voice out to you, we know that this present situation is no more bearable for anybody. So he said, Tinubu is playing fiddle while Nigeria is drowning in the ocean of insecurity. To imagine that the commander-in-chief is on a so-called private visit while kidnappers kill a nursing mother and a grandmother in Abuja for failing to pay 90 million ransom and 2 monarchs in Ekiti, among other regular tragedies besetting Nigeria. If the shoes are too big for Emilokon, he should step aside. Nigeria does not need another terrorist-in-chief. The country needs 247 leadership to confront the pervasive insecurity and collapsing economy.
Yes. Is the best teacher, and ordinarily age should confer wisdom. The cycle, either in a man's life or that of the country, even businesses, typically a cycle runs between 15 to 20 years. In some cases, depending on how you reckon, maybe from 10 to 15 years. But typically, our lives endure in seasons and cycles. And it is as it is for human beings, so it is for countries and for businesses. The moment those who pretend to rule Nigeria but are in reality ruining Nigeria, the moment they attain power, the first thing that they focus on is retention of power because they have no program to do anything. So, since they have 4 years before they have to rinse and repeat the pretense of a democracy and the lies of an election, they now start with the narratives. 1, oh, he's moving the CBN to Lagos. And then the arguments begin, and the fools begins the argument. Oh, he's showing them, he's preparing them, it's our season, our no come. He's bringing the CBN to Lagos. Yes, he's back in Yoruba land. Yes, he's in the south. And then you would have the likes of Ndume. They come on there and they will tell you, we will show him that he cannot do such a thing. We are the ones who placed him in power, and he has to do our bidding. This is a plan to marginalize the North. And then, yabba-dabba-dibbo-dabba-dabba, people will begin to pitch tents. Nobody is asking questions about all the stealings that went down in the CBN. Nobody is talking about the Naira change that became DAI. Nobody's talking about that anymore. We're talking about their moving department of CBN to Lagos. How many of the keyboard warriors helping to shape these narratives have their friends, family ever recruited into CBN or married in the last 20 years? When did they ever advertise any job in CBN? The next thing you are hearing them telling you Aline Dume's daughter or somebody is working in CBN, and the department is being moved to Lagos, and then the fools and morons are busy arguing over the movement of the CBN. This is how they shape the narrative. Farcical gyrations, spiral. And it's such a horrible downward spiral that before you know what's going on, the country is unraveling as it's spiraling. The real issues are ignored and we are given nonsense to talk about. Oh, should we talk about the weaponization of hatred? How about that one? How about that one? Should we talk about the weaponization of hatred? The ethnicization of crime? Should we talk about that one? The reality of the matter is that we've entered a situation where the government is more desirous of shaping false narratives rather than attending to the problems that are pressing. I saw a tweet from the handle of the Nigerian army describing terrorists in Mangu local government as irate youth. Irate, quote and unquote, youth. These are people from whom they recovered machine guns. They took pot shots at officers of the Air Force. This was also contained in the tweet. And instead of properly calling them what they are, you're calling them irate youth. These are part of the spiral of idiocy. Security has collapsed completely. On Lagos-Ibadan Expressway now, you can't travel free of the fear of kidnap. But we are describing terrorists as irate youth. And if we are not discussing that, we'll be talking about our governor, the party boy in Grenada. That is what we are asked to be discussing, instead of the real issues that shows very clearly that real income in the country has diminished to the point where everybody is almost entering multidimensional poverty, except you're a member of the reigning class who have no need to worry about money because money is coming right out of their hairs. If they are not printing it, they are grabbing it, they are snatching it. But that does not concern them. What concerns them? What concerns them? All that concerns them is to rinse and repeat the cycles of absurdity. They need you to focus on what takes your mind off the issue so that you will not ask the questions. And if you look at each and every one of these things, you ask yourself, those who are appropriating the name of regions or of ethnicities, of ethnic nationalities in pursuit of their own narrow agenda, whether it is those who want to paint the lie that they are moving something to Lagos as some kind of victory for their Jagaban or Jaguda, I don't understand how that works, because the man who painted Obasanjo as a dictatorial evil man, not an undeserved toga, but specifically on the subject of his resistance, quote and unquote, to allowing the 37 LCDAs to become local government, is today sat in the presidency. Oh, I forget, he's on holiday. A private visit to France. Our president, quote and unquote, has become a francophone jet setter now. The same man who was suing the federal government in relation to his 37 LCDAs, would he be signing the bill that seeks to centralize and take control of local government away from federating units to the federal government? How do you explain the fact that in the First Republic between 1960, no, let me go back, between 1951 and 1966, local governments are creations of regions who create them essentially as centers of administration and points from which to take development to their people. How do we explain the fact that it was after the coup that this local government creation became the job of the military, federal military government, which then proceeded to create local government on the basis of land mass? Before the 1966 coup, the Western region had more local governments than the whole of Northern Nigeria, if not the whole of Nigeria combined. I can speak with exactitude to the fact that it had more local governments, probably double the number of local governments in the Northern region. Why? Because it was up to each region to create as many local governments as it cared to create, because local governments are creations of the federating unit. So is Jaguda now going to sign off on this eminently on federal legislation? They've stolen power because they are not in power for your interest. The country has entered a spiral of violence, ably enabled by the government and by the politicians, those who pretend to rule the country. They will make money from the problems that they have caused. They will make money from the ones that they are the ones that are stoking. Time will pass. More people will die. But they will continue these farcical gyrations. Fact of the matter is, these distractions are all they are. Focus. Do not be distracted. Demand to know what has happened with the Edu case. Exactly what it is, or what is it that is happening with the CBN? Who is being held responsible? The Naira redesign thing, the fraud that is there, is it only a Emefiele? What about all the rest? That interests us. You can tell us about that. When are you probing Sirika publicly? That interests us. We'll be interested in knowing that. When are you going to stop demonizing one ethnic group to gain political traction? When? That is important. Let's talk about that. Stop weaponizing hatred, ethnic hatred. You're weaponizing it. It's dangerous. Well, let's talk about that. The entire collapse of the security architecture in the country at the time an irresponsible president would jet off on a private visit. Let's talk about that. If you want to talk about better edu, bring out the rest. The Minister of Internal Affairs, the Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila himself, every other person involved. Is this the way other ministries are run? Why are you making a scapegoat and then you're building all kind of narratives, all kind of false narratives around better edu? fine girl truly, but no, I not send down. Fact of the matter is, don't make her a scapegoat. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the issues. It's a system. It's not just about better. What are the rest doing? Do they do things differently in their own ministries? Exactly how is Wike running his own, his own fiefdom? Because we've capped it up as fiefdoms. And that one, Orojide, that was busy partying in Granada. Yeah, question is, was it done with our money? Or do we even have any money?
From what Dele Farutimi said, you will believe now that there is nothing happening in this country that our politicians in one way or the other do not have a hand in it. The destruction that the country is facing presently is caused by our politicians. They know what they are doing. They make money from the trouble they cause. He even said that more people will still die. Me that is making this video, I'm also not safe. That's why we need to come out with one voice and fight these corrupt people that call themselves our political leaders. With the recent killing that happened in Nasarawa, the army addressed the issues of irate youth. Can you imagine, since when did irate youth start killing a whole community, causing a lot of havoc and threat to its people? The country is collapsing and our government will come with a persuasive news just for them to switch our mind from what's happening presently in the country that is causing a lot of panic. That's how they came up with the shifting of Department of CBN to Lagos. Is that the issue that the country is facing now? At the end of the day, no single citizen gets an opportunity to work in the CBN without connection through this same corrupt politician. My people, feel free to drop your opinion at the comment section about what is actually happening in the country with this abduction and kidnapping of our people, even to the federal capital of the country, which is Abuja. And do not forget to share this video to every social media platform. You cannot share, like it, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. And if you are coming across this channel for the 41st time, do where to click the red subscription button and don't forget to click the bell icon so that YouTube will notify you anytime we drop another trendy video. See you in our next video. Bye for now.